When the Europeans first traveled to the New World, there were around 950 million acres of lavish woodland that would become the lower 48 states. Today, romantics and outdoorsmen alike fear for the future of our forests and natural landscape that for so long has been a symbol of American pride. Of these 950 million acres, about 728 million exists today, of which 240 million is owned by the government, and 191 million of that held by the U.S. Forest Service under the designations of National Recreation Areas, National Forests, and National Grasslands. This may make it seem like our government is doing a great job at keeping our ecology relatively preserved and untrampled, right? Well, really, a great deal of this land is designated for what is called multiple use, a nice way to allow for a number of boisterous activities, such as mining, oil and gas extraction, condominium developments, and an alarming bulk of our national forest is reserved for our timber industry. Really, the U.S. Forest Service wasn't created for our enjoyment of the landscape, but for the extraction of minerals and harvest of timber in an intelligent, responsible, and sustainable way. Though one could argue that the amount of clear-cutting taking place in its early years was hardly sustainable. So who is calling the shots? Congress appropriates around $11.5 billion in funds for what many call an overly bureaucratic park system. More money is sent to regional offices and national headquarters for administration and overhead than to the parks themselves for facility maintenance projects. Congress is seen as a poor overseer of the U.S. National Forest Service budget, and many politicians would rather take credit for opening a new park in their community than caring for the ones that are already there. The national forest lands face their own set of problems as well. Major clear-cutting problems in the 70s gave way to the National Forest Management Act of 1976, yet the law was said to be expensive and ineffective. Things weren't looking up by the late 80s when the U.S. Forest Service was said to be the only significant figure in the American timber industry that was cutting down trees faster than they were replacing them. Luckily, men and women today are working to defend our nation's prized possessions. The current chief of the U.S. Forest Service, Mike Dombeck, is the first among his predecessors to change the purpose of the Forest Service. He is focused on better protecting roadless areas, repairing watersheds, identifying new wilderness areas, and improving your experience with more recreation opportunities. Unfortunately, Dombeck is taking harsh criticism from the timber industry as well as Congress, who want more trees cut. Hopefully, we can encourage Congress to be on our side in the fight to preserve our beautiful natural landscape in hopes of that generations in the future can experience them too.